Hello, ladies and gentlemen, it's Red Feather and 200! Yep, we've made it to 200. Yeah, once again, like I said, one of my 150 sub specials. I can't thank you guys so much more, but you've read from the title, this will be my very first top 10 video I will ever upload on the channel. I'll probably do more eventually, but this will be the first. And this will be the top 10 features I want Pixonic to add to the game. Or at least should. But let me go ahead and get out an honorable mention, and that is give us Ultimate Leo! I'm just gonna go and get this one out of the way because you can't really do anything in Robots without at least one person mentioning something about an Ultimate Leo. I mean, I first thought of it, I was like, I don't know how that would be a good way to give the Leo some attention, but a bit after, I thought, hey, Ultimate Leo's fine. Plus, if the Destrier can get an Ultimate, so can the Leo. Come on, Pixo. Where's our Ultimate Leo? So that's my only honorable mention, so let's go ahead and start with number 1, more special editions and paint jobs. This one needs a bit of explaining. About almost every single update after a robot is introduced, then they most likely get a special edition to go alongside. And special edition gives said robot or weapon 10% more durability and deal 5% more damage. But lately, Pixo has just been lazy on them. And probably the most infuriating thing with this is that sometimes when a robot does get a special edition, not all of the pieces of content get a special edition. That just ruins variety. And variety is the slice of life. And I was already frustrated about this when the Achikachi came out, that the Shatter and Splinter got its special edition, yet for some reason, the Brisant was just cast aside. Why? Just the same. I can also see the argument they didn't do this with the Spike and Needle, yet they gave the Lynx and Stake the Baihu special editions. And I just said that I'd prefer just having everything get their special edition. Now, I would mostly mind this if they decide to give them their same special edition later. Like, it makes no sense. And honestly, I kind of thought of that way, but I'm at least hoping it comes up next update. Like, the Condor, Screamer, and Howler got their special editions in the same update as their release. And there was no medium weapon at the time. And yet, about a few updates later, we get the Growler, the medium version, and I'm at least hoping we get to see a Sport Growler next update. Am I right? Just me? What's wrong with people? And plus, the paint jobs are also another thing I'm disappointed with. I'm still happy Pixo's continuing to keep up with the giving every new robot its own signature paint job, but there's a reason why I'm including it with having more special editions. That's because lately, all the way starting with the Achikachi, all the paint jobs have just been copy-paste from others. Like, the Achikachi and Shenmue paint jobs are basically the same as the Neon paint job for the Spectre all the way back in 2017. I would understand because they're probably doing that just to save time, but it'd be much better to just give them their own unique paint job other than just stealing a paint job from another robot that's way older. And continuing with that, all the new paint jobs since the Condor have been flat out just lame and horrible. All the elites between the Condor and Ravager, as of recording this video, are all have the same name, Elite, which I kind of like the name, but all the paint jobs don't do almost anything with the robot. All they do is like add some other color to the robot. Like, the Condor and Duck's paint jobs just add some yellow gold bits on parts of the robot and just leave it there. How is that a paint job? Oh, that doesn't really seem like one. Whenever I think of paint job, I'm looking for a drastic transformation in colors. Like, take the Inquisitor with its marine paint job, for example. Inquisitor base color is red. Marine, I know it makes it just blue and gives it some gold, like the Ducks. But the Ducks is already blue, and its elite paint job just gives it gold bits. Come on, Pixo, have more effort in your paint jobs. And now we shall move on to number 2, a choice in soundtrack and hangar design. Let me explain. Every single update slash event, Pixar has always changed the hangar design to match the theme. Like, take for example the which one is it? I forgot. Well, just take for example the Valley of Dead Robots theme and the hangar design for 2020. Hands down one of the coolest ones I've ever seen. And I certainly like how they kept up and changed the hangar and soundtracks for every update. Yet, with the soundtracks, in my particular opinion, they really work well, but sometimes they just reuse bad tracks, or just reuse the same track and not do another one. I would understand, because that takes a lot of time, but still, like, the Cruel Warm Winter update for 2024 is literally the same name from 2023's Cruel Warm Winter event. And unlike doing the best case scenario, they did the worst case scenario of bringing the old Christmas music that I really don't like, instead of the really good Cruel Warm Winter theme that moved on to the Echoes of the Past event. No, wait, that's the wrong one. The update app before that one. Like, I really hate the Christmas theme in Warbots with a burning passion. I love every other track, but the Christmas theme is my least favorite. With the exception of the 2022 to 2023 anniversary themes. Those ones suck. But one thing I'm talking about with this is that Pixo eventually just gives up on, like, the hangar and themes and just allow us to choose and like the settings bar for us to decide what our hangar theme should look like. Not like changing the robots, but like changing the aesthetics of the hangar and allowing us to have a background soundtrack, because there's a lot of people out there that like other tracks than the current one. Like, I know there's some people out there who've played Warbots since 2014 when it first came out and wanted to listen to the original soundtrack again. I'm sure a lot of people would love to hear that one in the actual game instead of hopping on to, like, YouTube or Spotify and all that. Next up is probably a feature I am still surprised hasn't been in the game yet. That is number 3, seeing what the mothership certain players use. Of all the things in this list, this is probably the one feature that has the highest chance of coming to the game. I mean, whenever you view a player's profile, you get to see what they use, like their drones, robots, modules, as of the current rework, and their pilots and whatnot. But probably the one thing you can't see them use unless you see it in game is what mothership they use. This is kind of frustrating me for quite a while, especially that even when you can see them in game battle, you won't know who's using it because you can't see them on their profiles. And you guys already know which mothership I've used, and I've used it ever since I maxed it out, and that's the Keel. You should know from my first ever Orbital Mayhem video I did months ago when I started YouTube, and that's been my de facto mothership ever since I maxed it out. Well, it took me like 7 months to get the last level because I was like 35 components short, and it took forever to see the Keel components come back in the shipyard. Yeah, just, again, of anything, this is probably the one feature on this list that has the highest chance to come into the game. If Pixonic will allow it, please. Next up is probably my most controversial one, and that is number 4, the option of a 7-bot hangar. Let me explain. We all know how your max limits. That, excluding the Titans, your hangar is limited to 5 robots. No more, no less. Unless you don't have the resources to get the final two slots, which you should be able to get the first two when you first start the game, because they're super easy to get. But if you include the Titan, that adds up to 6 robots. But one thing I genuinely think would make sense is if we had 7 robots. And heck, that base hangar look, the 2 slots right in between the Titan, literally look like they can house a 7th and 6th robot. Now, you may know what I'm trying to say is that we should all have 7 robots to use in a game. And honestly, if that does happen, then they would most likely have to double the time to 20 minutes per game. And I don't think anyone's wanting to play a game for a single match that long. Unless you're playing League. But that's a different story. But the reason I'm talking about that is because think about what the drones before the rework. All the way prior to the rework, players could have up to 7 drones in its own hangar. And when you start a game, you get to choose which 5 you get to use in that battle. The other 2 won't do anything, and they'll just be there. This is this is probably one of my favorite things about the drone thingy, is that you get to assemble like a 7 drone hangar separately before you can have them on the robots, so you don't have to click which ones. That added a bit of customization to it to a degree, but since the drone thingy was reworked, which was probably the biggest scam in all of War Robots prior to the motherships and such, I think, you can only have up to 5 drones on 5 robots. 1 drone per robot, not 5 drones on 1 robot. The only exception is the ducks, but that's a completely different story. So simply I already know this because Wolfblood 7 said this in his, I think it was his Reasons Why Warbots Sucks video. It was one of them, or it was Good Things About Warbots. I don't know which one it is, but the one thing I could carry this is that some maps are better fit for some robots, and other maps are worse roles for some robots. Like, Springfield and Yamato are excellent for snipers, but on maps like Valley and Factory, they're not good. Snipers are not that as good as Yamato and Springfield. So simply having a 7-bot hangar would allow you to choose what 5 robots you want to use per battle and don't have to worry about the others. Like, you can have a sniper in one of the other 2 hangar slots, and you could choose in any game if you want to drop your sniper in that said game or not. That would be an excellent feature. I could finally make use of my solid Jaeger and use it again, but I can't because I'm not wanting to risk just getting a brawler map, which is kind of terrible for a Jaeger. So probably would love this one to come into the game, and it generally just sounds so good. Next up is Special Edition paint jobs. This one, I already know this is going to be another controversial pick, but this one genuinely needs some more. As of now, they don't give Special Edition robots their own paint job. The only Special Edition robot that has a paint job is the Warrior Typhon, which I still don't get. But I want to throw something out, and I think some older Special Edition robots deserve paint jobs. Like, if you see one of my concept series, particularly Dark Star, the Fallen Stars one, I added a Special Edition for the Stellar Phantom, and I think just the Stellar Phantom. Simply giving the Phantom the Dark Star paint job. It's a match on the Dark Star Arbiter, which I renamed to Minotaur, because after the Arbiter Devouring stuff came out this update, I had to go back and rename my Arbiter to Minotaur, and I thought it would sound a little cool. It sounded cool. And so it simply gives the older Special Edition robots some paint jobs so they can be somewhat more durable. That definitely won't do much, since all it'll do is give them 5% more durability, but come on. Those Special Edition robots already have 10% more HP, especially for very old ones like the Stellar Cerberus, or heck, the Scavenger Griffin. I think they deserve a paint job, and hopefully they're going to be obtainable quite easily, and you don't have to spend actual money in the game, but because it's from Pixonic, I think we all know what's gonna happen. Next up is number 6, the Steam test server. I am infuriated that this isn't already a thing. And prior to 2024, only Android players can have views to the test server. And around 2024, Pixonic recently allowed iOS players their own test server. Yet Steam players, like me, are still in the dust. I understand that Worldbots started as a mobile game and then expanded to other platforms in the later years. Like, I think it didn't get Steam until 2019. Like almost 5 years after it came out. And yet, we still don't have a test server. Pixo, give a test server to the Steam player base. I and many others are playing on Steam. Give us a test server, because the only way I can test the test server is on an emulator. And the bad laptop I do all my YouTube and stuff with can't handle it. Just give us the stupid test server. Sorry, but let's just go into the next one. Number 10 is adding my concepts to the game. This is a bit of a self-insert, but Pixo is getting ridiculous with theirs, and mine are miles better. After a bit of playing Worldbots, I've had a life goal to have my Worldbots concepts make it into the game at some point. And I've developed several over the years. Started doing this in 2019, about a year after I played the game, and the year where I lost my Android account because file corruption on my tablet at the time. F in chat, please. But I've continued making more and more over time, and I've even got around to showing them out to the world, seeing how my concepts fare to the ones Pixo comes out. Plus, the new stuff Pixo releases are just game-breakingly broken. Condor, Ducks, Ravager. The Samjock's probably gonna make it on that list. And the Raptor. I forgot about that. The Raptor was nerfed, but it's still very strong. But again, if you look at whenever I work on my concepts, I try my hardest to try and make them not as broken as possible. Like, some of them may sound broken on paper, but I at least try my hardest to make them not. There could be some exceptions, but whenever I do get some speeches that if my concepts are too strong, I always go back and try to balance them out. Which is hence the reason why in my concept reviews, which I'm not doing anymore because I'm going to do the remainder in a live stream around March. Yes, March of next year. Because that's where I'm planning to finally work up and get me a new tower, so I don't have to play on what I literally call a trash bag. So you'll be seeing more of them on there, and probably get some more higher quality videos out, like with my Warcraft videos and such. But back to the thing. I even tried a bit after I discovered that Wolfblood 7 has tried it. I went to their feedback page and added a file to all of my concepts to see what they think. I still haven't gotten a response yet. And if anything, I might just flat out try and work with them as like a small job. I'm not good at designing, coding, or anything that has to do with it, but I am good with coming up new content for the game. So, Pixo, if you're ever getting late, if you're running out of ideas, my concepts are right there. The next one is going to be a bit different, but it is a bit similar to the one I discussed with the 7-bot hangar. And that is, of course, 7 hangars. This one, I probably should have explained this one with the 7-bot hangar, but they're pretty similar, and I'll keep it short. What I mean by 7 hangars, every player can have a max of 5 different hangars. And for most people, they usually don't buy those extras, or if they do have them, they most likely just use them as storage or display some things, some rare robots and weapons on them, like ultimates or robots that don't exist that you can't even purchase in the game no more unless you pay real money, like the Golem, Schutzel, and Boa. What am I was embarrassed. Almost forgot a robot there for a second. But if Pixo does go with the idea of allowing 7-bot hangars, I think they should allow us to get 2 additional hangars to store 14 more robots. And that would certainly be fun, because I love customization and collecting stuff. So having more hangar slots for me to show off my collection, that's awesome. I can't, unfortunately, think of anything else for the rest, so apologies I can't make it a full top 10, but I hope you guys are at least still happy with a top 8 or something. So anyways, y'all, that's gonna be it for today's video. Hope if you wanted one of these features I listed to be in the game, what will it be, and tell me why you wish for it. I may have told you why, but I want to see what you guys will want to see in the game. And again, tell me why you think you want it should be in the game. But hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Be sure to leave a like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Also, we'll continue to the road to 300.